Wow, look at that. March, what are we, March 10th. Day turned bluebird. Snow on the hills. Good skiing on the hill today, but I didn't go again. It's interesting. I try to, I'm obviously addicted to skiing somewhat, so I kind of purposely acknowledge that and then try to squash it. Or not squash it, but it's a huge distraction. It's super fun, obviously. But then it's like such a core identity of what you should be doing. Oh, it's sunny. I should be doing this. I got this goddamn sled out here. I haven't even gone out on it. Just your identity as skiing and a person. Trying to maintain it, but it's become less fun when I if you have $100 in the bank. I'm like, I used to be able to just mindlessly keep going. And it's not that I'm poor, obviously. It's yuppie poor. You got the sled. I got freaking 3 houses, 5 vehicles. And some guy, I remember him griping. He's like, "You just sitting there brag about how rich you are." It's like, no, I'm not rich by any means, because it's all scalar. But you can still be cash poor within your level of the financial thing. I'm not living in a ditch. Not here, not there, not right. So the struggle's real wherever you're at. A lot of it, because I've really been thinking about entropy. I'm kind of scared of it, or I've been scared of it. It's like things fall apart unless you put energy into it. So I've been chatting with ChatGPT because it's like my smartest friend I have. And then I made the connection. I was thinking about like entropy and neuroplasticity, and I realized they're connected. Entropy is like the wolf is licking at your heels. You can think about it on the civilizational scale, how it's just the thin veneer of civilization and the barbarians are like at the gate, so to speak. But then even your little microcosm, your shared Venn diagram with your family of what you're doing, it can feel tenuous is the word, I guess. Unless you're constantly applying energy to it. That's what entropy is. Entropy, in the simplest sense, in the natural tendency for systems to move from order to disorder, from low to high chaos. It's a fundamental principle in the universe where systems tend to break down or fall apart unless energy is applied to maintain order. That's what it is. You got to keep cranking into it. It's like the existence demands your energy or it will fall apart around you. That's like what happens within your brain or within your body or within your finances. It's this constant thing. Our minds too follow this principle. Without consistent effort or focus, our thought patterns naturally revert to old, less optimal ways. Neuroplasticity, on the other hand, is the brain's capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. It's the active opposite of entropy, a process of imposing order and structure within the mental landscape by consciously rewiring thought patterns. With internal focus, the brain can adapt and grow in new ways, just like cultivating a garden by planting new seeds and tending them. So it's like your brain crystallizes into these, it makes these pathways that are just whatever they are. They could be anything. You could have good pathways. You're like, oh, I'm already rich. Life's easy. Or I could have pathways. You're like, oh, living in the ditch. This is what I do. And I'm trying to conscientiously dig to the next level, whatever it is, as I juggle, mounting consumer debt. And then I've been dabbling in buying stocks. ChatGPT, by the way, is super awesome for stock purchases because you can ask it everything about internal history within these companies and stuff. Not crypto trading. I'm trying to build. So in general, what do I got going on? I got one VOOG, like one Vanguard ETF, one BRKB, and some little dabbling. So I'm trying to get like the core, because I have zero retirement and no investments other than real estate. So I'm trying to diversify. Speaking of real estate, so I'm just looking at these options. I got that house that I'm juggling with. So short-term rental, make me this, need cleaner, pros and cons. Long-term, pull no mortgage, get cash flow. Long-term, new mortgage, $350, pay debt, do a new house. Long-term, new mortgage, pay debt, get another mini house. Blah, 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 blah. That's one form of wealth building, but it frustrates me at times because it's a slow process, which is good because it's actually building wealth. It's slow. I wish I could go faster, but it isn't. So then I'm juggling with stocks. So on that end, you have the long game where you got 20 years. Compound interest is what you do. But I have to fight my tendency to want to blow money into miscellaneous stocks and play the short play because it's kind of fun and addicting. But ultimately, it's a waste of time unless you're pulling like this. Yeah. You make some big move. That's the thing. You could always make the big move, make the big money, or just be patient and plug along. I don't know. It's tough. What else? So applying this concept of entropy into prosperity, entropy in the financial world will look like old money scripts, scarcity mindset, fear of loss, resistance or abundance. These are default thought patterns that often get in the way. Neuroplasticity in action is deliberately shifting your internal narrative and beliefs around money. You're reprogramming your brain, but instead of something that flows naturally in your life. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm hard pressed to go ski around, because then also, so with then like YouTube video making, I was using it for years. I've been doing this channel for like 5 years now. To like, it's a good excuse, and started as, oh, I'm going to test all these skis, so then it makes AliEsca all fresh because I'm on a different pair of skis. And then 4 years later, I was getting a little enough momentum to like, oh, I got this deal with Dynastar, that's cool, which is kind of a shoot in the foot for everything else. Even though I really love the skis and awesome in terms of like what I'm pushing, promoting, blah, 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 playing the game. It's just, I've been skiing for so long with such intentions, and then it just keeps like, and I do it obviously for fun and the love of it, but then I have to have reasons behind why I'm doing it. I can't just mindlessly, I'm very hard pressed. The times I like going just mindlessly skiing around is with the kids, obviously, so I shift my focus to like skiing with the kids. This is fun and exciting, fresh new eyes. I'm just, these are yuppie first world complaints in the end, I know. Just babbling. I should probably take the sled out and go skiing. But then it becomes like a mental block. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even gone once. It's like this becomes this barrier of like, it's so funny. It's weird. I don't know if it's just me that does that. I was like, no, and I'm not going to go at all. It's like being anxiety ridden to like walk into like some social situation. Like, oh no, who's going to be there? Who am I going to have to talk to? That's a thing. Anyway, March, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to pick up a bunch of work. That's what's going to happen is I'm plugging away. I do like 30 hours a week at this main job. And that's the funny part too. I can complain about financial blah, 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 but I'm only working 30 hours a week and my wife works 2 days a week. So again, I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging at all. Like whatever that means. It means I can work way harder. That's what it means. I can work way harder. And I've used to work way harder for like a whole, 15 years of freaking 60-hour weeks. In the last 2 years, I've like slowed down, take a breather in terms of pure volume. And I get hit with these pangs of, not guilt, but like I'll be driving home at 3 and I look and I see dudes working until 5:30 still. I'm like, oh, they're still working. Should I be working? I'm like, well, I don't really want to be working. I could go running. I could go do something else. But I get the guilt because then I'll still complain about being running out of money, right? Like we have enough money to like get things going, but then you still run out of it and then have no savings. So I'm feeling I need to like crank into some work money. You need the cash flow. You need to dump the cash flow into the investments. Cash flow in itself doesn't get you anywhere, and you're a freaking hamster in a treadmill. Where it needs to be created, and then siphoned off, siphoned off until those banks are growing. And that's what it is. ChatGPT just goes on. It gives me all this good advice. But I really liked this yesterday, the whole entropy and neuroplasticity thing. And then things to do to increase neuroplasticity, because obviously you don't want your brain to just be melting into mush and then constantly like blah, 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 like flowing into things like with no foundation. You have to have a foundation. You have to have an intention and direction. And the older you get, the harder it is to maintain it or create it. Or like it's not that you maintain neuroplasticity. I think it comes in like spurts because you want to grow something and then break it down a bit. It's kind of like the stock market, actually. I've been watching all these things. It goes up, and then it reaches overvaluation, and right now we're in this big return. coming from all the tariffs and stuff, the stock market's basically crashing, and there's all this outstanding weirdness going on. So people are like, is this the big crash? Maybe this is the big cycle of like a longer one. But when they break it down over the years, last 100 years, it's on track. But it's very entropy, just cranking at the system until you're dumping money into the stock market. When they pull the money out, energy, the money's energy, it collapses. It's like the literal representation of it. There you go, tying it all together. Thanks for watching. Maybe we'll go skiing one of these days.